Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
Hundreds of people have gathered tonight outside the home of a Moorhead woman who has spent the last 5 years battling an aggressive brain tumor. Doctors say Andy Olsonowski doesn't have much time left, but she's not spending it alone. Valley News Team's Courtney Lockie joins us live to show you how the community is rallying around the family. Courtney?
Mike, what a special night outside of the Olsonowski home. Hundreds of people piled in. Some of them are still lingering around. They all brought flashlights. They gathered for prayer, for song, and they even did a prayer on a rosary, and it's all for Andy. And it's no wonder why so many people showed up. She has some pretty deep roots. She was a former track athlete at NDSU, and a pretty good one at that. Her coach told me tonight, 7-time All-American. And now she's living in Moorhead, and she's a wife and a mom of 4 little ones. Tonight, the family opened up their windows and their hearts. Andy's husband, Mark, says she went to sleep on Tuesday, and she hasn't spoken or gotten out of bed since. But at the sight of tonight, she's smiling and squeezing their hands. And the family wants to thank everyone so much for that. You're Andy's niece, and you're very close with her. What do you think tonight's event would mean to her?
Oh my gosh, if she could see what was going on tonight, I think it would honestly bring her to tears. She knows how loved she is, but to see this many people come out just to support her in this time would be amazing.
This tells you the type of person she is. I said, Andy, you're one person in my life I've never heard swear or say a bad word about anybody in the world. And she said, Coach, I swore when I found out I had cancer.
A lot of people tell me that Andy is a woman of strong faith. I mean, what would you say just about that and how it's helped her?
Her faith has never wavered. Through this whole battle of almost 5 years, it has been stronger than anyone I know. She's been an example for all of us.
And what an example Andy has been. I think tonight was just proof of how awesome of a woman she has been. Mike.
Thanks so much, Courtney. And if you want to join Andy's herd, we've got links on our website. Download the Valley News Live app. We're getting word tonight that a Fargo hospital has allowed a Minnesota family to see their loved one. Rachel Safar says her dad was rushed to Essentia in Fargo for an emergency procedure after he was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer. He had his colon removed this afternoon. Rachel called us tonight saying the hospital called to say that they could, one at a time, visit 52-year-old Corey Refshaw. Earlier, she spoke with Valley News Live about the emotional time it's been for her father.
I've never, ever seen my dad cry before, and that was the worst day of my life, was watching him cry over Zoom and not being able to hold his hand.
Prior to this, Essentia's policy was not to allow visitation to reduce the transmission of COVID-19. And if you need help with an issue in your community, call our whistleblower hotline at 701-237-6576. Call that number on your screen and leave your tip. A member of our investigative team will get on the case and go to work to expose the truth. The leaders of the group called One Fargo continue to avoid our questions or provide proof for their claims against the Fargo Police Department. The group claims police illegally kept an eye on protesters on May 30th. Fargo police were unable to talk about the issue today, but former Deputy Chief Todd Osmundson addressed the issue during a recent news briefing, saying the department has plans in place for every large gathering in the city.
We do ops plans on our St. Patrick's Day parade, our large holiday parade. And yes, we had one on May 30th. There was nothing illegal or devious about that.
Our team did speak with multiple agencies locally and across the Midwest today. They say they have operation plans for large events as well. They say it's part of the job. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and state lawmakers are calling for specific reforms to Minnesota's laws and saying they will support racial justice. There have been calls for changes and reform of policing in Minnesota and Minneapolis for decades, but never like this, with so many lawmakers joining Walz saying the time is now.
Looks like. So I am proud to be here today. It's an opportunity for these folks to kick off what will happen tomorrow with an expectation that Minnesota will change the way we do policing. Minnesota will change what accountability looks like.
That special legislative session begins tomorrow. Minnesota is reporting another 13 deaths from the coronavirus, bringing the death toll to 1,249. Of those deaths, 994 happened in a nursing home or a long-term care facility. 453 new cases are reported, bringing the active case count to 3,197. 24,870 people are listed as having recovered. Another person has died with COVID-19 in North Dakota. She was a woman in her 70s from Cass County with underlying health conditions. That brings the overall death toll in the state to 74. 39 more people have tested positive, bringing active cases to 391. 2,515 people are listed as having recovered. A second day of COVID-19 testing is planned for tomorrow at the Fargo Dome. It'll go on from 10 to 6. The tests are free. Insurance will not be processed. Appointments are not required, but it's strongly encouraged that you complete the online screening questionnaire in advance. If you do test positive, you're going to be notified by phone within 72 hours. We have a link to the questionnaire. It can be found by clicking on this story on the VNL News app. Paperwork for North Dakota workers' compensation claims can be difficult, but lawmakers are making it easier. A bill has been approved that would extend the deadlines for claims. The bill gives employees an extra 15 days to file an appeal. Lawmakers say there have been issues in recent years of informing injured workers of the rulings. Issues range from changing health circumstances to whether affecting mail delivery to forwarding mail after changing addresses.
We have two ways of submitting claims. Obviously, one's going to be in paper and mailing it to us. The other is going to be our online claim filing. That online claim filing, since I've been here, has gone from about 30% of claims, and right now we are up about 70% of claims being filed online.
From November of 2019 to April of 2020, there have been 56 workers' comp rulings, resulting in an average of 179 days granted per decision. That's down from December of 2018, when there were 78 rulings over a 6-month span, with 282 days on average, according to the North Dakota Workforce Safety and Insurance. The Department of Human Services issues about $7 million in food benefits each month to about 27,000 North Dakota households. In April, SNAP benefit applications went up 6%. During the pandemic, some of the requirements to receive benefits changed. For example, in-person interviews could be substituted with phone interviews.
With the increase in April, we relate that to individuals that have lost their employment due to businesses closing.
Able-bodied adults in the SNAP program normally have working requirements to be eligible to receive SNAP benefits, but that requirement has been waived during the pandemic. To apply, go to nd.gov. A Fargo man is asking you to join him for conversation and a bonfire Sunday night. He's starting a group called Ubuntu Racial Dialogue. At 8:30, he wants neighbors to gather in South Fargo to talk about racial tolerance, justice, and equality. So far, about 50 people say that they plan to be there. The goal is to start open and meaningful conversations so that we can grow.
We want for people to listen to these stories because we believe these are necessary way to go forward. But beyond that, we also want for you to go beyond your hurts, beyond your feelings, beyond your pain, to be able to share with us your aspiration for the world.
Lewis is hoping that neighbors will meet for these conversations weekly.